Definitely better than the last 15 seasons.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. The end of the game was in the game, man. You ready? You ready? You ready? Oh. Yeah.
Welcome to Night Arena, tonight's men's volleyball matchup featuring the Flames of Liberty University and Southern Virginia University Knights. President Wilcox and the Southern Virginia staff thank you for your support of the student athletes and coaches participating in today's contest. In the spirit of good sportsmanship, they ask you to respect the following SVU athletic rules. Cheer loudly and proudly for your team, not against the visitors. No profanity, vulgarity, racist or sexist remarks, no personal remarks toward players, coaches, or officials. Show that you know the game. Stay away from the playing area and team bench areas. Zero tolerance for alcohol and tobacco use at all contests. Thank you for your cooperation, and go Knights! Ladies and gentlemen, in accordance with tradition at Southern Virginia University, we will begin with a word of prayer, which will be offered by Bailey Vinson.
Dear gracious Heavenly Father, we're grateful for this day, and we're grateful for all that was given us, and that we could gather here today to watch this athletic event and our volleyball team perform. And we're grateful that the other team was able to travel here safely, and we ask that they may travel home safely as well. Please bless all the athletes tonight as they perform, that they may do so, that they may perform as they have practiced and to the best of their abilities, and that no one will get hurt or harmed. And we're grateful for this university, and we say these things in the name of His Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Now, if you will all please rise and face the flag for the playing of our national anthem. Thank you. And now for your starting lineups. Starting for the Flames of Liberty. At center.
You are sitting in the best season house, and we are thrilled to join you. Hello once again, everybody. Chris Fowler alongside Dawson Reed, here to bring you today SVU men's volleyball non-conference matchup between the 10th-ranked Southern Virginia Knights and the Flames of Liberty University. Dawson, really exciting matchup we have here between two really good teams. Club team for Liberty, they're still a Division I prospect. What can we expect from the Knights today?
Well, we can expect a much tougher competition than they've had in the past two games, especially ones with Newman Knights yesterday and this morning with the Karen Highlanders. Both teams respectively having rough seasons of their own, and so the Knights were able to come away with those pretty easily and unscathed, sweeping both games. But Liberty, you can expect a much bigger fight from the Flames. I just want to bring in some of the starters for Liberty College. They have James Morton, Sean Taggart, Caden Nepper, Joshua Knapp, Zachary Martin, and Eugenio Ramsey. And then for your Knights, you have Cougar Clark, number 3. He is the second leader in kills on this team. He had a great day early on today against the Highlanders of Karen University.
Right side sophomore, number 4, Mark Staley.
And then number 4, Mark Staley. He also had a great showing earlier on today.
And 6'5", middle blocker is senior number 7, Mitch Yusevich.
And we love Mitch Yusevich, a very soft-spoken guy, very great. Plus, got to talk to him, just a great force on the floor.
Junior, number 8,
and then number 8, Kaipo Taikaloa, another one of those quiet leaders we've talked about. He leads the team in assists.
Middle blocker, number 10, Colby Wilson.
Colby Wilson, the energy provider on the court, always gets super excited to every single play.
Outside hitter, number 12, Noel Recabarian.
And Noel Recabarian, the athletic specimen on this team, he gets so high up and comes down hard with those kills. Leads team in kills this year, over 140 kills in the season. And then Daniel Aina, the libero, who does a great job with getting those digs and those service receptions.
And Dawson, just take a minute to appreciate the Southern Virginia Knights team. You have all the senior leadership. There's great talent coming in. You have Stapley, you have Reckabarn, there's underclassmen talent that you'll be able to keep for many years to come. But Dawson, I think the main thing, the most important thing that I can take away from this Knights team is the fact that everyone is a captain when called upon. Not one guy is designated to be the leader of this team. Each and every player steps up and hold the other guys on the squad accountable for their actions.
They really do. Everybody plays a role. Everybody is very much involved. They're a great group of guys who trust each other, who rely on each other day in and day out. And it has shown in this 10-game winning streak that they have accumulated over the past few weeks.
And also they got their 10th win in a row earlier today when they faced off against the Highlanders of, I believe it was Karen College. And looking for their 11th in a row. It is a non-conference matchup. The Knights now 8-0 in conference play, but this would solidify them as a real contender coming into NCAA tournament and for the rest of the season. Yes, they're number 10 in NCAA Division III, but to take down a Division I program, granted it is a club team, but still, Division I program with these kind of athletes, it'd be a statement for Coach Tom Peterson and his boys of this Southern Virginia Knights men's volleyball team.
It absolutely would, and I think the Knights are very well prepped for this because early on today we mentioned that the Knights played a game early on today at noon, but they had opportunities to sit a lot of their starters later in the game because the Knights had an easy time with the Highlanders. And so the starters are rejuvenated, they're refreshed, they're not feeling a whole lot of, I guess, recoil from the first game. Whereas Liberty University, this is their first game today, the only game today, which is usually the case. And so we'll see if the Knights can hold on to that and not get fatigued early on in this match.
Dawson, will be interesting to see what that earlier match for the Knights and how it affects this coming game. Will the players be more loose and ready to go against the Liberty Flames, or will they be a little bit more tired and maybe a little bit tentative, knowing the fact they've already played a whole match of volleyball today? Dawson, I start to lean towards the fact that I think they'll be ready. I think the Southern Virginia Knights are always prepared to play volleyball, especially, like you mentioned, getting to rest a lot of their starters late in the game against Karen. And to start things off, number 14, Joshua Knapp of Liberty. Liberty keeps it alive some way, somehow, but put back down Cougar Clark. So in great fashion, Southern Virginia gets on the board first over top of the Flames of Liberty.
And that was a great effort from Liberty University, but again, Cougar Clark noticing that the ball was coming right over the net, just able to barely push it down for the point.
Now back to serve. First service for the Knights belonged to Cougar Clark, the senior from Centerville, Ohio. Again, second leader in kills per set for this SU Knights team, only behind Noel Reckerbaron.
And just miscommunication and mistiming by Eugenio Ramsey. You know, he jumped up way too early on that one and coming down as well as way too low. And so again, just misstep there, allowing the Knights for another point.
So Coop Clark will be back to serve for his third straight time behind the line. And Dawson, we mentioned last game that the Knights played against Karen. Cougar Clark having a whale of a time from behind the line. I think he picked up around 4 service aces in that game alone. And there's Noel Reckerbaron, the sophomore from San Juan, Argentina, getting his name on the board, bring the Knights up 3-0 against the Flames of Liberty. And Dawson, you mentioned the high flying ability of Noel Reckerbaron, able to get up so high where he can put it right down, right back at the feet of any middle blocker that he faces against.
Well, he jumps and just never seems he's going to come down anytime soon. He just kind of hangs up there, and that allows him to have the great opportunities for kills.
Point will go to Southern Virginia. They'll say it tipped out of bounds. I believe that came off the hands of number 2
Still serving for the Knights.
of the Liberty Flames. Instead, that's number 12, Tate Lapham. So Cougar Clark back to serve for his 4th straight time now. That one falls in, so just like in his fashion against Karen, Cougar Clark picks up the first service ace of tonight for both squads and brings Southern Virginia up 5-0 over top of the Flames of Liberty.
And again, Cougar Clark just has such great power in his serves, which makes it difficult for anybody to return, and he just plays someone very well on the back line.
That one killed down. That's number 2, James Morton. James Morton, a freshman, standing at 6'5" from Chesterfield, Virginia. So James Morton finally puts the Flames on the board, and he'll back up behind the line for service.
And that was just very well executed, put him in a spot where no Knights were at all.
Tagaloa got it up to Cougar Clark, but Cougar just a little bit too strong on that spike. Point goes down to Liberty. It's still 5-2, and back to serve again will be number 2, James Morton. So Tagaloa trying to get Yusevich in the action. This time Stapley getting that one to fall. So Stapley has a kill to his name, and Southern Virginia has a point on the scorecard. We mentioned Mark Stapley a couple times in the last broadcast, Dawson, but really the game against Newman was his defining moment. He comes in on this team. He plays behind Reckerbaron, he plays behind Cougar Clark, but he's shown the ability to be the sole provider in terms of attacking offense and attacking power for this Knight squad when called upon. The sophomore from California, he has the bits to get it done.
He absolutely does, and that was a very unorthodox play by number 2, James Moore, and he had to change his stance, I guess, at the last second, which hand he was going to hit it with, and it caused him to hit it too short.
They'll call that a double hit against the Flames of Liberty, and it'll be a Southern Virginia point. At bat to serve number 14, this is Daniel Aina. Daniel Aina in the top 30 in the nation for digs per set. Really the defensive specialist for this Knight squad. Always knows how to get himself on the scorecard with a dig. Tagaloa trying to get down to get that one. Too strong. I believe that came with the hands of number 19, Eugenio Ramsey.
Back serving for the Flames.
And then the Knights just not able to close off their block well enough, close off that lane, and so was able to sneak in there.
This is Ramsey first time. That one blocked down. Tandem of number 16, Zachary Martin. What I believe is number 8, Sean Taggart.
And that was just a beautiful block. Textbook play right there, putting it straight down to the ground.
Cougar Clark not to be denied after the Flames get a block on that one. Cougar Clark putting it down with authority to bring the Knights up by 5.
And it's quick plays like that are going to be the Knights' friends all night long, because we've seen when the Knights try to set up a slow and high up set, Liberty able to get there very quickly for a great block, as the Knights just did there.
Southern Virginia putting themselves in a block column. That time Colby Wilson. Dawson, just want to mention the productivity of Colby Wilson, the senior from California, what he can do on that front line, the impact that he has, and not on just the opposition to be able to get into their heads, but with his own teammates, always know how to set someone up and finish for himself, it seems like.
And he always knows how to build up his teammates, too. I mean, you see him in the huddle. He's always talking people up. He's always helping people build their confidence, and when things are going great, he's always building up that excitement. He's just a great leader all around in that aspect.
Colby Wilson, really a great teammate for this Knight squad. You can ask him a question about himself and what he was feeling during a game. Remember, we interviewed him a couple of games ago. I asked him what he was thinking when he was hitting such a high hit percentage, and he attributed it all to his teammates, and specifically Daniel Aina and Kaipo Tagaloa and the like. So that point would go down for the Flames. Now back to serve for them. This is number 13, Caden Nepper. Nepper's a senior, standing at 6'1" from Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. Flames down 6-10. Colby Wilson getting another one on the board in his name. That time a kill goes in the kill column for Southern Virginia and for Colby Wilson.
Pin play runs perfection yet again, the Knights' specialty.
And now we'll see the sophomore from San Juan, Argentina, Noel Recabaron, back to serve for Southern Virginia. Got to 3 it over. Here comes the Knight attack. Tagaloa. Daniel Ina got there, got a hand to it, just comes off the wrong way off the wrist. Point goes to the Liberty Flames.
Well, that's just well defended right there. That Liberty knows that that's a play that SV likes to run, and having it done to them 2 times in a row was just not going to happen.
And now we get to see number 8, Sean Taggart, back to serve for Liberty. Good serve by Taggart, but here comes the Knight attack. That one falls for Noel Recabaron. Interesting call here because a line official said it was in, but the official on top of the ladder called it out. So the point will go down to Liberty, despite all the Knights and everyone here in Knight Arena believing that one fell inbounds.
Well, every single person on the opposite side of the spectrum felt like it was out. All the players of Liberty could not believe that it was called in the first place. But works out for the Knights in the end.
Works out for the Knights in the end as they get the ball back. Now back to serve Colby Wilson. Also Mitch Yusevich checking back into this game, the senior middle blocker from Gilbert, Arizona. Tagaloa trying to tip that one over. Great, that one's hit down. Believe that's number 2, and it is James Morton getting his name on the scorecard again. James Morton leads his team in kills. Now he has 2 kills on the night, hitting a .250 hit percentage. And now we're going to see number 18. This is Brady Quackenbush, a senior 6'3" from Normal, Illinois. Noel Recabaron, that one blocked. Tandem number 14, Joshua Knapp, number 19, Eugenia Ramsey.
That was a beautiful block, and that's something that Noel Recabaron is not used to. He's not used to people getting into his blocks and putting them straight down like that, like number 19, Eugenia Ramsey just did.
That one too long, and Dawson, you mentioned the block. The last one against Noel Recabaron for the Flames. Liberty Flames have 3 total blocks so far in this match, compared to the Knights only having 1. That one coming from Colby Wilson. So the Flames showing their ability to get in the way of these outside hitters like Cougar Clark and like we just saw there with Noel Recabaron. Southern Virginia picks up a service ace, that time off the hands of Kaipo Tagaloa. Tagaloa, known for his serving. He's not just an assist guy, not your average.
Not too high up. But at the same time, you got to ignore those big-time blockers. You got to find those open gaps.
That hit from James Morton too far, so Tagaloa back up for his 2nd time behind the line for service. Southern Virginia already has 2 service aces, one for Kaipo Tagaloa that we just saw there, and earlier in this game we saw Cougar Clark putting one on the board for SVU. See if Tagaloa can keep the magic going. Cougar Clark getting that one to fall. We saw the big middle blockers, number 14, Joshua Knapp, and 19, Eugenia Ramsey, going up to try to get a hand on that one, but Cougar Clark not to be denied.
The power and the accuracy beyond that hit was incredible. He had 2 big blockers right in front of him, found the middle spot, and did a great job there.
Knights couldn't keep that one alive. One goes down for the Liberty Flames. Now back to serve for Liberty. This is number 14, Joshua Knapp, freshman, 6'8", from Gaithersburg, Maryland. And that serve by Knapp too far, so Cougar Clark will back up behind the line for SVU. The Knights of Southern Virginia have a 17-11 lead over top of the Flames. That service into net by Cougar Clark, so another service error on the night for SVU brings their total now. So I believe 2 service errors on the night, match them up with 2 service aces.
Yeah, and Cougar Clark really wants that one back. You saw as soon as he hit it, he knew it was going to the net, but instead works out for him as he gets that point right there.
One goes down for SVU and Cougar Clark, and Daniel Aina will back up behind the line for Southern Virginia. Daniel Aina, a senior, sending a 5'11" from Hilo, Hawaii. Great dig, Daniel Aina. Cougar Clark trying to get down to that one, just too far out of the reach from the senior from Centerville, Ohio. Point goes down for the Liberty Flames. We'll see Eugenio Ramsey back up to serve this one.
And players like Ramsey in that situation would be so tempted to just put it straight down, but no, he was patient, and he saw the open spot and just softly put it where it needed to be.
Mark Stapley getting that one to fall. Kill goes down for Stapley. That's Stapley's second kill, or third kill rather, of the night. Only one behind Cougar Clark. Mark Stapley again, 2 for 2 and 2 straight attacks for Southern Virginia. Mark Stapley now 4 kills on the night, and he'll back up behind the line for SVU.
And you know, before this game, I was very curious to see how SVU would respond to the adversity of a great team like Liberty University after the past couple games. I think it's more, I guess, lesser opponents, you could say. But so far in this first set, I feel like they've responded quite well.
Dawson, I was just thinking the same thing. If you're Southern Virginia, you're coming off 2 games, and if we're being honest, not the toughest of games for the 10th-ranked Southern Virginia Knights. They swept Newman, and then earlier today we're able to sweep the Highlanders up Cairn. So coming to this game, you're facing a team that or a skill level of a team that you haven't faced in the last couple of games. How would that affect your mind coming to this one? And like we've seen, Southern Virginia up 21-13. So running away with this first set. We'll see if it can continue on to finish out this first set and heading into the second set.
And that all comes from coaching. You know, it's like we said, it's very easy to lose focus when you're winning games consistently, especially past few games against lesser opponents. And so it's all about the mental game these coaches have been preaching to their players, saying, always play like you're competing against the top opponents in the country. Always be competing at that level, never slack off. And again, they've been doing a great job of not doing so today.
Southern Virginia Knights, of course, coached by head coach Tom Peterson, a seasoned vet in terms of men's volleyball. He's been all around the country, has that Division I experience, like you like to mention, Dawson, a great asset for the Southern Virginia men's volleyball program. Definitely glad to have him here in Buena Vista. Both squads make their way back on the court. No new faces checking in for either squad at this time. The impact players for Southern Virginia in Colby Wilson, Cougar Clark, Noel Reckabarn, of course, Kaipo Tagaloa. You could say every player that's on the floor right now for Southern Virginia is an impact player. Each of them know their role, and they play it to near perfection.
Absolutely, and also talking about coaches for SVU, they have some other great coaches too. You have John and Debbie Baker, husband and wife duo that coached women's volleyball this past season. They did a great job with that squad as well. And so having their experience added in with Coach Tom Peterson definitely adds a lot, along with Coach Russell Tompkins, who is also a great veteran here, who's been an assistant coach here for a couple of years. And so again, great coaches lead to great playmaking like we've seen.
And what a gift or a blessing for these players to come into this program. If you're a freshman coming to here at Southern Virginia University and you want to play men's volleyball, you have plethora of knowledge and people to learn from with 4 very seasoned great coaches here at Southern Virginia. So if you're a young player and you're looking to learn the game of volleyball, learn the game of NCAA volleyball and how to compete in it, Southern Virginia is the place to be because you have an endless fountain of knowledge with all these great coaches for Southern Virginia. And now we'll see Kaipo Tagaloa make his way onto the bench. And Knights number 18, Christian Capisi, sophomore from Pago Pago, American Samoa, check into the game. And we saw last game against Karen the effect that Capisi has on a match with his length alone.
And it's one that's hard to get kills by. I mean, he's just so tall and lanky. His arm reaches so long. And you know what else? Reaches very high. That is Noah Rekabarn's jumping ability right there on display yet again.
Well, Rekabarn picking that one up for the Knights. Now have a 23-14 lead and have an opportunity at set point if he can convert on this serve. Rekabarn. Flames able to get it down. That's number 16, Zachary Martin, senior, standing at 6'6" from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Able to get that one to fall for the Liberty Flames.
And that was a little tricky. He went up there, and it looked like he was about to just absolutely destroy that thing. And so, much place for SU jumping up for that block, but he hesitated and had a soft hit. Very well done.
Great work by Colby Wilson, changing his body midair to be able to get that one. And the block goes down for Southern Virginia. Wasn't sure if that one hit into the net first or came off the hands of Colby Wilson. Nevertheless, it'd be Knight point. And now Colby Wilson back to serve for Southern Virginia, and they have an opportunity to take this set. Set point for Colby Wilson and Tom Peterson's SVU Knights. Knights take set one off the amazing solo block by who else? Cougar Clark, the senior from Centerville, Ohio, stuffing that one back into the hardwood.
And you know, the preference for volleyball at any level is to have two people there for the block. But the fact Cougar Clark was able to get it all by himself and just on his right hand even, straight down to the right side, beautifully well done.
Shows you the ability that Cougar Clark has. He's not just an outside hitter, so much more than that. He can set, he can get the digs, he can hit it and kill it down. We just saw there, he can get the blocks there. Usually someone like Mitch Yusevich or Colby Wilson would be inclined to take those. Just great work by Cougar Clark and the versatility being shown, but not just by Cougar Clark, but by every single player on this SVU men's volleyball roster.
And I think one thing we have failed to mention so far that is really pushing the Knights today has been what this game is about, who it is for. You might have seen on the broadcast a couple of shirts having number 3 on their backs. That is in memory of former SVU men's volleyball player Braden Lu. And he, unfortunately, due to a work accident over the summer, passed away. And so in his honor, they've been selling these shirts. We'll have a little bit more on that at halftime with our student body president, Mike Myers. Just want to let everybody know aware that this is what the Knights are fighting for. They're playing for a former teammate and a good friend.
Absolutely, Dawson. And not just in this game. Yes, this game being a whiteout for SVU fans here. You see on your screen all the white shirts in the stands, all those with his number 3, Braden Lu, a beloved member of the SVU men's volleyball team. He will be the driving force, not just for this game against Liberty, but hopefully for the entire season for the Southern Virginia men's volleyball team. And like you mentioned, Dawson, more on that coming between the second and third set, but we'll have a special video commemoration of him, and a scholarship will be given out in his honor. Just a great showing by this SVU family that has come together to lift up one of the fallen Knights.
Absolutely has. That's what being a Knight is all about. It's about lifting each other up. It's about supporting one another, and the students here at SVU have done that tremendously here for this men's volleyball team. And just all the teams overall. I mean, we just saw women's basketball end their season, and we saw a commemorative video made by the football team here at SVU thanking them for their great season. And that just shows the support that each member of this student body has for one another and the different athletics groups that have support for each other. It's a family. It's a group. It's a family group that just is so well bonded and does such a great job of supporting one another.
So much more than an NCAA Division III sports program here at Southern Virginia. Every athlete, every team, part of a family, and all underneath the Knight umbrella. When they put on that emblem of the Southern Virginia Knight, you're playing for so much more than yourself. You're playing for every single student athlete, student, professor, and administrator here at Southern Virginia University. And it's just a great atmosphere to have. And Dawson, I feel lucky to be a part of it, and I'm glad to have you here with me to experience it.
Oh, well, I appreciate that, Chris. Good to be here, too.
The final seconds tick away at the clock. Both teams make their way back onto the court No new faces for the Knights, except maybe for number 4, Mark Stapley, checking back into this game. The Flames lose that first set to Southern Virginia. Southern Virginia leads 1-0. Now headed into the second set, the number 10 Southern Virginia Knights looking to make an instant impact. Looks like things will restart with number 1, Cougar Clark, back for service.
And look to see Liberty University come back here with a fury in this second set. I mean, they are a very talented group of individuals, and it took a little bit for them to get warm in that first. And so I don't quite expect you to run away with the second set like they did in the first one, and then sets past. But I hope SU can have the win at the second set. But again, expect Liberty to be very tough as far as blocks and kills is concerned.
So Cougar Clark will get things started here for us here at the barn in Buena Vista, Virginia. Knights lead 1-0 over top of the Flames of Liberty. Playable first attack of this second set by the Flames. Knights respond. Ceiling coming into play as it does here at Southern Virginia University. The barn getting into the heads of the Flames on that one. That one came off the ceiling, bounced right back down. Lack of communication on the Flames side of things equals the first point of this second set, and it belongs, but who else? To the Southern Virginia Knights.
And again, it's so hard to prepare for that when most arenas don't have a ceiling as short as Knight Arena tends to have. And again, the Knights practice with it day in, day out. Liberty hasn't, and it showed there.
And Dawson, you have to imagine what it's like going through the minds of the Liberty Flames at this point. You're coming from a Division I program, one of the largest schools in the country, world-class facilities, and you come here to humble old Buena Vista, Virginia, and you're facing off against a stellar volleyball program in the Knights. The surprise that must come with that you would think it would, must be evident in their minds right now.
Well, it's very easy to look at a place like the barn that isn't known for its size and think, oh, small town, small team. And like you said, not the case whatsoever.
That block coming off the hands, and well, Rekha Barron goes out of bounds, so point goes down for the Liberty Flames. They tie it up 2-2, and back to serve for them. This is number 8, Sean Taggart, the sophomore from Buffalo, New York. Back to serve for Liberty. That one falls for Southern Virginia. Lack of communication on the Flames side of things. Back to serve for Southern Virginia will be number 4, Mark Stapley, the right side hitter, sophomore from Laguna Niguel, California.
And that was very fortunate for the Knights because they had a couple plays there where communication wasn't the best. And again, you saw how Cougar Clark had to just simply set it over. Not necessarily what they wanted or what they would have liked to have, but it ended up working out for them on that point.
And that one goes down for the Flames. Came off the hands of Colby Wilson, and then you saw Kaipo Tagaloa dive in and try to get a hand on that one. Just not enough behind that shot. And back to serve for the Flames. This is number 8, or rather number 18, Brady Quackenbush. Quackenbush to serve, playable by the Knights, and the Knights take full advantage now. Well, Rekha Barron climbing up to the stars to hit that one back down.
Well, he does every single time. I don't know why it amazes me every single time that he does that, just because we were so used to seeing him do this. But it's just very impressive how he does it.
And also, something that impresses me about Noel Rekha Barron is how stoic he is. Never gets too high, never gets too low. Just always seems to be in that groove and in the zone to do what he does best, and that's spike the ball down with authority.
And, you know, there's some athletes out there who will be very emotional, like the Russell Westbrooks of the NBA or the Ray Lewises of the NFL who show their emotion on their face constantly. Noah Rekha Barron is not one of those. He's one of those stone-faced athletes whose expression never changes, regardless of what is happening. So he keeps his composure, like you said.
Well, Dawson, you can even find parallels on the Southern Virginia Knights team. Just take Cougar Clark, for example. Every time he spikes the ball down, gets a massive block, he's all up in arms, screaming at the top of his lungs. And that just shows you the different types of play that are here at Southern Virginia and the different mentalities on the sports team. Each player playing with the same intensity, just have different ways of showing it. At that time, the Liberty Flames put that one down. That's number 2, James Morton. And James Morton will move back behind the line. First service, it's 5-5 here at the barn. That hit from Stapley goes into the net. So Liberty takes their first lead of the second set. And Dawson, if I'm not mistaken, this is Liberty's first lead of the entire match.
Yeah, I believe you're right, and that was just missed time of Mark Stapley. And just like I said before this set, Liberty doing a lot better at keeping things interesting and close. And in fact, doing much better than keeping things close, having a lead in the second set.
They pulled it. They made it 2, and James Morton will back up behind the line for his 3rd straight service. That'll end the reign of James Morton. Serves that one into the net. Southern Virginia makes it a 1-point game, and Kaipo Tagaloa will back up for Southern Virginia. Kaipo Tagaloa already on tonight, has a service ace. You're looking to add to those numbers with this next hit. Falls in, Tagaloa asking ye shall receive. Kaipo Tagaloa knocks it down for another service ace, his 2nd of tonight, and Southern Virginia's 3rd of the entire contest.
That's the golden kind of serve you want to have with high velocity, but it drops at the last second and get that nice spin on it.
We've seen Kaipo Tagaloa, the junior from Lincoln, Nebraska. He's involved in almost every single Southern Virginia attack. He's top 10 in the nation for assists per set, averages right around 10 a set. Just a great asset for this Knights team. Showing evident there, Noel Reckabarn able to hammer that one down past the strong hands of number 8 of the Flames, Sean Taggart. And now we see number 8 of the Southern Virginia Knights, Kaipo Tagaloa, back to serve for his 3rd straight time behind the line. That hit by number 8, Sean Taggart. That one goes too far, so Southern Virginia makes it a 2-point game despite being down 5-7.
And number 8,
4 points to go.
Sorry about that, Chris. Number 8, Sean Taggart, being visibly frustrated with himself after that hit, knowing he had a shot, he had a gap to hit, just hit a little bit too far.
Blocked down, Cougar Clark and Mitch Yusevich teaming up to put that one down for Southern Virginia.
And again, another picture-perfect block for the Knights. And Cougar Clark involved once again, giving him his 2nd block of the day.
2nd block and Southern Virginia's 3rd total block tonight. One of those solo blocks coming from Cougar Clark. That service from Kaipo Tagaloa goes into the net. So they'll turn the ball back over to the Flames of Liberty. You'll see number 19, Eugenio Ramsey, the senior from Chicago, Illinois, back to serve for the Liberty Flames. Strong by Mitch Yusevich, getting that one past number 16 of the Flames, Zachary Martin. 2 middle blockers with a face-off there. Mitch Yusevich, the senior from Gilbert, Arizona, getting the upper hand in that matchup.
Yeah, we don't usually see Mitch Yusevich make those powerful hits, but when he does, it works out just like that. He's got that potential.
Flames able to keep it alive. Southern Virginia attack. Rekka Barron gets it to fall inside. The referee's just having a word with the players of the Liberty Flames. They didn't agree with that call at all. Thought that hit or the spike down from Rekka Barron fell out of bounds, but the referee saw it differently. Point Knights now lead 12-8, Southern Virginia. Cougar Clark. Hit by Eugenio Ramsey, falls out of bounds. And Southern Virginia now leads 13-8.
And I do like what the line judges did just then. You know, a lot of speculation from the players of Liberty University. But the ref came in there and told him, like, no, it was in. Trust me, it was in. Where a lot of refs won't do that. A lot of refs will make the call and simply not talk about it. But instead, willing to calmly talk about it to these Liberty players and make it known to them, like, yes, that is indeed the call.
And Dawson, that helps player-official relations when it comes to things like that. Holy, Noel Rekka Barron couldn't hardly contain my words there, able to slam that one down on basically the entire Flames defense. What more can you say? Holy mackerel, Dawson.
I believe that hit number 19, Eugenio Ramsey, right on the shoulder. You're going to have to ice that in the morning. That one will sound like it hurt.
And Southern Virginia takes the lead 14-8 off of a massive hit by Noel Rekka Barron. We here at the booth didn't really expect it. We just heard the slap sounded like thunder echoing down the Blue Ridge, but just Noel Rekka Barron doing what he does best, killing the ball down And with that number, Noah Rebecca has 7 kills on the night.
Yeah, just having the kind of night that we would expect for him to have. Early on today against Karen, it was Paul Clark, or Kruger Clark, I should say, his nickname, having that many kills early on, but Noah Rickabarn getting back to what he does best. And just, like you said, his thunderous kills, they attract crowds, and it's been doing that to the SVU student body today.
Noah Rickabarn, he's 7th in the nation in kills per set. Averages right around 4.15 per set. He has 7 tonight in tonight's matchup. But there's another night in these proceedings. Kruger Clark, he's 19th in the nation, so top 20 in kills per set. So Southern Virginia head coach Tom Peterson, 2 nationally acclaimed players on the hitting side of things. Not to mention Kaipa Tagaloa with assists, top 10 of the nation, averages 10 a set. Daniel Aina and digs per set. You have all these players that are nationally acclaimed and hold these national stat rankings. They've just been shown in their field to be the most proficient in the nation, and they've shown it, especially here tonight against the Liberty Flames.
They really have, and it shows that all the pieces are there for a tournament run for this Knights team. They can make the tournament. They have that great potential to run the table.
Night attack. Spike down, that's number 19, Eugenio Ramsey putting the point on the board for the Liberty Flames. Hit it right in between Kruger Clark and Daniel Aina. Both players going for it, but neither able to get a strong enough hand on that last one.
The 6'5" senior from Chicago, Illinois, soaring up there to around the same height that Noel Rickabarn was getting to.
Great dig, Daniel Aina. That's why he's nationally ranked in digs per set for that just play right there. But despite their best effort, Southern Virginia can't keep the Flames from scoring. Liberty now 10-14, still down by 4.
And you've seen a lot of great fight from this Liberty team. Some of the calls they feel like haven't gone their way, but they've still been able to keep the composure and keep this interesting.
Blocked down, that's number 16, Zachary Martin getting that block for the Liberty Flames. And Dawson, you mentioned earlier, not many players have the ability or bravery and courage to get in front of a Noel Rickabarn kill.
But multiple players on this Liberty University team have been doing a great job of it.
That one falls in for the Liberty Flames, so Liberty picks up their first service ace of tonight, and believe it is one service ace on tonight on that last serve by number 13, Caden Nepper. And that'll force head coach Tom Peterson of Southern Virginia Knights to take a timeout. He needs a minute to talk to his guys about what they can do to continue the run of dominance that they had in that first set and in early portions of this second one, Dawson.
Well, a lot of momentum for Liberty University right now. They've had a lot of great plays, that great serve, some great blocks. And so SVU just needs a second to just calm down, to breathe, to collect themselves. And just go back to the simple things. I mean, we're seeing a lot of great action from the Knights right now. Kaipo Tagaloa getting down low on the ground on basically every single play to get the sets up. So a lot of great effort being put forth. Just several plays going Liberty University's way. And so I feel it's going to be like this throughout the next few sets if Knights not able to pull off in this set. And so, I mean, Knights doing a lot of things right. It's just Liberty having a little bit of momentum right now.
And also, we mentioned the great winning streak that Southern Virginia has been on. 13-1 this season. Their only loss coming here in the Knight Arena earlier in February to Stevenson in a 5-set thriller. The Knights ended up losing at the very end in a heartbreaking fashion. But Knights since then, 8-0 in conference play on a 10-game winning streak. And Dawson, only one of those games within a 10-game run, they've split sets with somebody, and that's nationally ranked Juniata. Despite that, Southern Virginia has swept every single opponent they've played since that tough 5-set loss to Stevenson.
Well, it's pure dominance, and I mean, a lot of situations, again, we mentioned were against lesser opponents, but again, a lot of them were pretty great quality teams. And so the Knights showing that they can dominate in multiple assets and against multiple different programs.
And Dawson, the Knights will look to assert their dominance here in this game as we get things started again. And right off the bat, Cougar Clark making his presence known for Southern Virginia. Southern Virginia pulled ahead by 3 points, and Colby Wilson was checking for Mitch Yusevich.
If you want a tutorial of how to come back against the momentum swing, you just show them a clip of that play right there. Cougar Clark doing just that for this Knights team.
Served by Aina. Playable by the Flames. Great dig. Daniel Aina again. Tagaloa. Rekha Barn putting another one down in his name. Rekha Barn now has 8 kills on the night.
And fortunately for Noel, that one would have gone out of bounds if it wouldn't have been tipped by, I believe, number 16, Zachary Martin.
And Zachary Martin has gotten the better of Rekha Barn in this match. He's gotten a few blocks on him so far, but Rekha Barn able to get the better of that matchup. Attack by the Flames. It'll be saved. Daniel Ana tipping that one over. Another attack coming from Liberty. Liberty trying their hardest to stay in that one. Great digs, both on number 19, Eugenio Ramsey, and number 14, Joshua Knapp. But all for naught as Southern Virginia picks up the end after a great rally. And Dawson, that last rally mainly on the side of the Liberty Flames.
Yeah, it was just a great rally overall. Again, you mentioned Joshua Knapp's courage and dedication to dive on the floor to get that all, though. It looked pretty obviously out of his reach.
Southern Virginia's having to get that one over to save themselves. Attack from Liberty. That one blocked down. That'll go off the hands of Noel Rekha Barron and fall out of bounds. So Liberty brings it now. It's a 3-point lead by Southern Virginia, but back to serve for the Flames is number 8, Sean Taggart. Served by Taggart, just falls over. Unlucky play for Southern Virginia. And if you're Liberty, you're looking at that one and swiping or wiping the sweat off your brow, because that could have easily fallen back into your side of court.
And those are probably the most annoying plays for a volleyball player at any levels. When it hits the net, it just barely falls over. There's literally nothing you can do except for try to dig it out of the net.
This one playable by Southern Virginia. They'll call a double hit on Kaipo Tagaloa. Just got under that ball just a little bit too much. And Dawson, we heard the head coach of the Liberty Flames making himself known on that last play.
And it's so hard for Kaipo Tagaloa to get a good solid set on that just because it hit off the ceiling and it changed trajectory, so he had to move himself a little bit and he was unbalanced.
Taggart back to serve. That one goes into the net. So Taggart on an opportunity to tie the game up 17-all. Service error, and the ball will go back to Southern Virginia. Now it's number 4, Mark Stapley. Tagaloa with authority.
That was beautiful, right in the perfect spot, the open space. He saw it and took advantage of it.
Southern Virginia now has a 3-point lead, and Stapley back to serve for the second straight time. Attack from Liberty. Great rally shown by both squads. Liberty still in this one. That one hit much too far. Joshua Knapp thought he caught the Knights out of position. Just too much mustard on that left hand.
Just a great display of abilities from both sides of the floor. Some great setups, some great hits, some great blocks, and some great digs. I mean, just all around, everything you can ask for in any team. Both teams display that just then.
Southern Virginia attack. Tagaloa. Great dig. Eugenio able to get that one. Southern Virginia lacked communication on their side of the court. We'll give a point to the Liberty Flames. Knights gifting that one to Liberty.
Yeah, Kobe Wilson and Mark Stapley both, like you mentioned, having miscommunication, both backing off, but then realizing no one was going for it and both diving at the last second.
Now back to serve, number 18, Brady Quackenbush. That service out of bounds. Point Southern Virginia. Southern Virginia now has a 4-point lead. 21-17 over top of Liberty Flames. And Dawson, we've seen a great discrepancy in terms of service success, even from this first set, especially since the Knights' last game against Cairn. What can they do to get the service back in their favor in this game?
Well, I think overall, they've done an okay job. I mean, yes, they've had the 5 service errors, and the aces will come and go depending on the quality of the team you're playing. But I think, I feel like sometimes they're just trying to do too much with them. They're just trying to put them too far, put them too tight of locations, just to get back to what they do every day at practice. Just those simple, quality serves that can get things rolling for them.
And there's a quality serve right there coming from Noel Reckerbaron, picking up the service ace for his team. And it'll force Liberty to take a timeout, as now the Knights lead 23-17 with an opportunity at set point if they can convert on the next couple of points.
And that's kind of disheartening for Liberty because they played so well in the second set. They have really fought back after being down by 6 and building up to being in the lead by 2 points, and now being down by 6 with a possibility of a set point. But again, you see this in volleyball games all the time. The first 2 sets, maybe a team will be building up a little bit better and better each set. Expect the third set, if the Knights are able to pull off the second set, to be extremely tight and possibly going extra points.
We'll see if that goes that way, Dawson. Right now, Southern Virginia up 23-17, an opportunity at set point against the Flames of Liberty. The 10th ranked team in the nation, the Southern Virginia Knights, have held their own so far against the Liberty Flames, and not due to just the production of 1 or 2 players. Every single player on this Knights team has impacted the game in their own way and in the way that Coach Tom Peterson would have them do so.
Yeah, I want to mention a big number. Kaipo Tagaloa with 16 assists, doing a tremendous job distributing the ball around. And of course, now Rickabon with 8 kills, Cougar Clark with 6. Cougar Clark's most of his kills coming in very clutch moments and moments where they need to take back momentum.
And Dawson, you mentioned Kaipo Tagaloa with 16 assists so far in this game. It's a great number. Kaipo Tagaloa is off the pace in terms of that. If he's playing the way that technically his normal game would be, he'd have at least 20 right now, but still, the amazing numbers put up by Tagaloa have to be noticed. That serve from Reckerbaron goes into the net. So it'll be Liberty back to serve. This is number 14, Joshua Knapp. We've mentioned him prior in this broadcast. He's a freshman standing at 6'8" from Gaithersburg, Maryland. Night attack underway. Tagaloa. That one too far, coming off the hands of Joshua now. So Southern Virginia now an opportunity to take set number 2 in this matchup against Liberty.
Now it's just a great rally right there by both teams. The Knights giving Liberty University all they can handle, and they were able to fight off most of those kills until the last one.
That one spiked down with authority by Eugenio Ramsey, the senior from Chicago. Keep Liberty in this second set. Still a 5-point game, and Knights still with set point.
Liberty University not backing down whatsoever. It's what all the great teams do. They respond right back when they're hit in the face.
Daniel Aina with a great dig. Keep SVU in it. Great rally being shown by both squads now. Too far over. The bump from Stapley came too close into the zone to Eugenio Ramsey, and Liberty bring it to a 4-point game.
Yeah, just a very small, minute mistake getting it over the net to Liberty University.
Reckerbaron gets to the fall. That'll give the Knights set number 2 after Noel Reckerbaron hammers it down for SVU.
And that gives him, I believe I'm not mistaken, his 10th kill of the night, and so he's leading the way there again. Cougar Clark was 6, and it gave Kaipo his 17th assist of this game.
Dawson with that, Knights take set number 2 and make it 2-0. Looking to head into this third and hopefully final set for Southern Virginia to continue the dominance they've shown so far. And with that, we'll take a little bit of a break. We thank you so much for joining us here on the Knights Sports Network. And as we take this break, the video commemoration and remembrance of beloved teammate and friend Braden Lu will commence. And the next voice you'll hear will be that of Student Body President Mike Myers. We'll see you in a little.
Hello everyone, my name is Mike Myers. I'm the student body president here at Southern Virginia University. I just first off wanted to thank everybody for coming out tonight, and I wanted to explain a little bit more about why we're doing what we are tonight. But before that, I first want to give an announcement that Braden Lu's family is actually watching this live broadcast tonight. So let's give them a round of applause. Send our love. So Braden Lu was a dedicated student athlete here at Southern Virginia University. He was on the men's volleyball team last year, and last summer, after a work-related accident, he tragically passed away. Upon hearing this news, obviously we were extremely saddened, but also felt an incredible sense of urgency to do something about it. To not only mourn this loss, but to celebrate his life and the great characteristics that he had. So we collaborated together and decided to establish a scholarship in his name. So in order to fundraise for this scholarship, we have created these Braden Lu t-shirts that you see all around. They're $15, and 100% of the money from this fundraiser is going straight to the scholarship. So thank you to everyone who has purchased a shirt or will purchase a shirt. It's going a long ways. We had many students apply for this scholarship, and what they had to do was submit an essay that talked about how they exhibited hard work and perseverance in overcoming a specific challenge in their life. And the winner, just like Braden was a hardworking, persevering guy, so they needed to have those characteristics. The person who won this scholarship worked with their mother in their high school years to produce a play that helped improve race relations in their community. And so, above all else also, we wanted to honor someone who would do something that would make Braden proud. So without further ado, we'd like to announce that the 2019 Braden Lu Scholarship winner is Meg Hudson. So, a lot of you, we understand in the crowd tonight, may have never met Braden before. So what we wanted to do was interview those who knew him best. His teammates, his coaches. We even were able to interview people that served a mission with him. And so what we did is we made a video that talks about the characteristics that he had, and we'll explain more of why we're doing this. So we will play the video now.
Your legacy is who you are as a person, and Braden was great.
He would play to the best of his ability against his other teammates so that he could help them to improve.
As a player on our team, was valuable in our season. We wouldn't have had the season that we had last year. We wouldn't have been ranked in the country had he not been in the gym helping his teammates.
He would be at practice already before a lot of people, and he'd be just warming up or trying to get some reps in. And it kind of helped me see how much he really loved the sport.
You know, and other people, when he'd get mad or frustrated, he'd put his hands up or he'd put his hands in his hair, and his hair would be like all over the place. And so in practice, I'd always give him grief about that. That he was so competitive and he wanted to win so bad that he, it's just, it's a big loss.
Everything Braden did, he put in 110%. In the weight room, he had fancy lifting shoes and do his best and beat his max like every week almost, it seemed like.
In the weight room, on the corner, like no matter where we were, he was always working so hard. But I was admired for that. Braden was always wanting to get better. He was always wanting to watch videos on YouTube.
Working. Yeah. Passionate.
I'd say caring. I would say he was loyal, very loyal, passionate.
He became one of my best friends here, and he was always there for me. Something that I remembered most about him was he was always uplifting to me in practice.
So you'd come home and you'd be hanging out, and kids would interview for no reason. It's
because he loved it.
He was very good with people and talking to strangers, helping people to feel comfortable and to feel safe.
I love seeing he had this giant smile on his face, for one, and that's one thing I miss about him. His perfect teeth.
So for the people who haven't met Braden, he was a really funny guy. He was one of the funniest guys I've actually ever met. I remember thinking when I heard the news that how much I was going to miss his smile. His smile was contagious.
He gave me shoes at the very beginning of the semester because I didn't have athletic shoes. And I still have those shoes today. I really love them. I love them.
So his Instagram bio is life is about being happy and being with the people that you love. I think for me that's probably the biggest thing that I took away is learning to be happy in the moment with people that I love.
He was a waiter at one of the restaurants in Lexington. He was a student, and he was a boyfriend, and he was a son, and he was a brother, and he had all of these roles, but he embraced them. A lot of people would shun away from the hard work, but Braden never did.
Our condolences on the most sincere level to his family, but in our faith we know where he's at.
Well, we miss Braden, probably not the same way as the family does, but the family was great, is great, and Braden is great, and it'll be a great reunion sometime.
At Southern Virginia University, our mission statement involves gathering, lifting, and launching. We felt that this was the best thing to do, to lift a community, a university, a student body, a volleyball team, to cope with this loss. Braden was an incredible man, and I hope that we all leave tonight inspired to be better, to love those that are around us. Tonight we celebrate volleyball, tonight we celebrate life. So God bless and go Knights.
That was student body president Mike Myers in Dawson. Couldn't have said it any better myself. Braden Lu, a beloved teammate and friend of this men's volleyball program. And you see the shirts all around here at Knight Arena, ourselves donning the apparel in his honor. Only thing we can really say is that we love him and we miss him. We hope that his parents watching accept our deepest condolences and love and outreach to the entire Lu family.
Yeah, and I think this student body has done a great job of responding to the tragedy that is the passing away of Braden Lu. But again, the great celebration of his life by these students, and with that video tribute to him, the words from his coaches and teammates and friends, just talking about the kind of person that he is, and a very emotional time for you at Knight Arena. And again, our condolences to the parents, and a great unifying moment for this university.
Really amazing to watch. Southern Virginia, the entire campus, really wrap themselves and envelop with this situation and with this cause. To watch an entire student body, athletes, professors, the President Reed Wilcox, and the like, all come together as one in support of this. It's just great to see, and again, our deepest condolences go out to the Lu family. We thank you so much for tuning in this broadcast. Nothing really much more we can say that our student body president Mike Myers in that lovely video we just saw could explain better. And Dawson, we mentioned it definitely be a driving force coming into not only this game, but hopefully for the rest of the season for this Southern Virginia Knights team. They have Braden's jersey on the bench in commemoration of him. So he'll be in the thoughts and prayers of not only the players, but also in their fighting spirit headed through the rest of this season.
And it's been evident tonight. They've taken the 2-0 set lead, and they have just done so many great things well. I mean, their hitting percentage hasn't been incredible, but it has been enough to get those first 2 set wins. Liberty providing quite a challenge to SVU. But I expect SVU to have a lot of drive in this 3rd set, as well as Liberty. And again, like I said before, I expect this to be a very tight set, maybe possibly going into extra points. And again, SVU is going to have to really pull out all the big guns in order to pull out this one against a very talented Liberty team.
Dawson, we saw in that 2nd set, Liberty played phenomenally well in the opening couple of points, even taking the lead over Southern Virginia a few times in that 2nd set. With Southern Virginia doing what they do best, closing out that set. Coming into this 3rd set, obviously as Knights fans, we want to watch the Knights dominate from beginning to end. But if you're head coach of the Liberty Flames so far, what are you telling your guys to get them back into this game and maybe to regain that fire that they had early in the 2nd set?
And I think just doing everything they did in that 2nd set, obviously, but it's kind of interesting because there's a little extra of a break between sets that they're used to having. And so they're going to have to get back into their rhythm, which might be problematic considering the SVU is more prone to start fast than most of the teams are, and Liberty showing that they had a little bit of a slow start. But basically, Liberty needs to close their block gaps, close those windows that they've been doing a good job of tonight. And I'd say try to get to Eugenio Ramsey as much as possible, number 19. He's a high flyer. He's got a very powerful hit. And it has been shown the Knights have had a little bit of trouble stopping him so far today.
You mentioned Eugenio Ramsey. He leads Liberty in kills. He has 5. Right behind him, James Morton with 4. And then just goes down from there. Joshua Knapp with 3, Sean Taggart with 2, and then only Tate Lapham and Zachary Martin getting on the board with 1. That's compared to the Knights leading the team in kills right now. Noel Rucker-Barton has 9. Coot Clark 6. Mark Stapley 5. Number of players getting their name on the board so far for the Southern Virginia Knights. Just so many weapons at their disposal. Southern Virginia gets on the board first, and hopefully is the 3rd and final set for the Southern Virginia Knights squad. Liberty responds and gets one on the board for the Flames. Block goes down for number 2 of Liberty. That is James Morton getting on the board. Dawson, rather, the block from Morton goes out of bounds, so point for Southern Virginia. And Daniel Aina back to serve for the Knights.
Another great block there by Mark Stapley and Colby Wilson.
And that time, number 2, James Morton getting on the board, going off the bodies of a couple of Knights. I believe it's Colby Wilson and Mark Stapley there to get the block, just fell underneath of them. And now back to serve for Liberty. This is number 18, Brady Quackenbush. Brady Quackenbush, a senior from Normal, Illinois. Great dig by the Flames, but then number 14, Joshua Knapp couldn't get that one over the net. But what a dig by number 13, Caden Nepper of the Flames on that last play.
Barely getting it by the tip of his fingers off the floor. pancaking out in order to get that.
Daniel Aina doing what she just said, putting his body on the line to get that dig for SVU. Now the attack by Liberty. That one spiked down, number 19, Eugenio Ramsey, continuing his streak so far. Now he has 6 kills on the night and pulls ahead of his teammate James Morton.
And again, I'm telling you, Ramsey is the weapon that Liberty needs to utilize against SVU.
And Dawson, serving today has not been the friends for Liberty University. They have 7 service errors compared to only 2 service aces. Compare that with the Knights. Knights have 6 service errors respectively, but also 5 service aces to go along with that.
I think that we attributed to the great ability to receive serves by the Knights. But again, I feel like the Knights wanted to take a lot more risks, and so a lot of those resulting in those service aces, like those very close on-the-line aces, whereas Liberty's been either hitting them into the net or it's been a very safe one for the Knights to get.
That spike falls out of bounds from the hand of Colby Wilson. So the point goes to Liberty, and they take a lead here in this third set. And Dawson, I want to just take a moment to talk about a stat here. We mentioned in the last game against Cairn earlier today at noon, Southern Virginia ended that game, or ended that match rather, with only right around 45 attacks on that match. Today alone against Liberty, they've had 63, and they've killed down 27 of those respective 63 attacks.
Well, that's just due to the great rallies that both these teams have had. They both have had opportunities multiple times in one rally to get attacks. And so that's why that stat has been building up in this game.
Substitution number 7, Mitch Yusevich.
Now we watch the senior from Gilbert, Arizona, Mitch Yusevich, come into this game. And back to serve the other senior from California. This is Colby Wilson. Colby Wilson not able to get a hand on that one. That one comes off the hands of number 10.
Re-entering the game, number 14, Daniel Aina. Also entering the game,
Number 10, Andrew Eves. Andrew Eves, first time we mentioned his name in today's broadcast, is senior from Bentonville, Arkansas. But able to make his presence known on that last play. And there we saw number 13, Caden Nepper, trying to be tricky and flick it behind his back, but didn't work out in the end for Liberty, and ends up for a point for Southern Virginia.
I do love the idea there. It's a very open spot. It just came off his hand just a little wrong.
Tagaloa serves goes wide, so Liberty maintains their lead. They're now up 8-6 over top of the 10th ranked Southern Virginia Knights. And Dawson, we've seen a strong start so far by Liberty. What can you attribute this to, if anything?
Well, I think that they've just gotten back to what they do best. They've been very aggressive. They've utilized their middle blockers, who have a little bit of athletic advantage over SVU's middle blockers. The outside hitters, that's a different story. You have Noah Rickabar and then you have Kruger Clark. But in the middle here, Liberty has some great middle blockers. They get up there very high, have some great opportunities for kills every single play.
And Dawson, you mentioned the middle blockers of Liberty. That being the main one being number 19, Eugenio Ramsey. They're playing more of a middle hitter role with him rather than a middle blocker. A lot of the attacks from Liberty go really through him. They get it up to him to try to put it away. So it says middle blocker here on the roster. I think he's more of a middle hitter in that aspect.
I'd agree with you, Chris.
Served by Kruger Clark goes into that, so Liberty maintains their lead despite the Knights' best efforts to tie it up there. Now we see some flames coming into the game now. This is number 2. James Morton checks into the game, and Brady Quackenbush makes his way to the bench. Kruger Clark gets that one to fall right down the right line. Point Southern Virginia. They now bring it equal. Back to serve, number 14, Daniel Aina.
While the kill from Kruger Clark was great, let's just take a second, though, to appreciate that service received from Noah Rickabar. That was a tough, hard-hit serve by Noah, putting it straight up into the air with a nice touch on it, allowing that play to take place in the first place.
Another service error goes down for the Southern Virginia Knights in Dawson. That makes 4 service errors in this set alone for Southern Virginia. What can we attribute that to? Is there something in their head at this point?
Maybe. I wouldn't think so. I think maybe a little bit of it is just fatigue. Because, again, they did play a game earlier today where a lot of these guys did have some significant minutes. But, again, a lot of it is a mental thing. Just need to get up a little funk right now.
Southern Virginia ties it back up. Now Mark Stapley back to serve for Southern Virginia. Dig by Cooper Clark. Knights keep it alive. Attack by Liberty. Another dig by the Knights. They keep themselves alive.
My goodness.
Daniel Aina again. Knights attack. What a rally. And finally, number 19, Eugenio Ramsey, bringing the end to what was probably the best rally we've seen all match.
My goodness. I mean, that last play by the Knights that came off of Daniel Aina's fingertips, basically, then Kaipo Tagaloa barely getting it over. Incredibly impressive effort from both sides.
No doubt about that one. Mark Stapley hammering it home to bring it equal.
Man, Stapley hit that thing so hard and almost went into one of the trash cans over here. Almost made a basket.
Now we see Noel Reckabarn back to serve for Southern Virginia. And Dawson, I'm afraid if we win in the basket anyway, wouldn't have counted for any more points that the Knights definitely need right now.
Well, you know what? I think that should. That's pretty impressive.
Goes just a little bit too far wide off the hand of Colby Wilson. So point goes to Liberty. And we've seen a back and forth matchup now in this third set. Liberty coming out of that break with a spark underneath them.
Again, much like I expected, because this Liberty team has been building in each set, getting better and better and more efficient. As you see, the Knights responding back.
Kaipo Tagaloa breaking the norm. Looked like he was going to set it, but instead put it over with the left hand, caught the entire Liberty crew off guard. See Colby Wilson now. Knights looking to take the lead. Mitch trying to spike that one down, but blocked by 2 Liberty Flames.
It was a very strange play there by number 13, Caden Nepper. He tipped it backwards to his team. You usually don't see that, and you heard Coach Tom Stevenson saying, well, that's a little different. Was not expecting that.
Mark Stapley, the Knights going back and forth with Liberty so far. Haven't taken the lead in the last couple of points, but as soon as Liberty takes a 1-point lead, the Knights respond and bring about equal. It's been a broken record so far the last couple of points, and Kaipo Tagaloa, the junior from Lincoln, Nebraska, looking to break the monotony and break this tie and give the Knights the lead. Tagaloa.
And Mark Stapley now is the leader in kills for this Knights team with 10, and so it's really built up in this set.
That's blocked by Mitch Yusevich and Mark Stapley, but it'll fall out of bounds. And the trend continues, Dawson. Liberty goes up, Knights tie. We'll see if the Knights can keep the trend on their side alive and bring it back equal in this next set, or this next point rather. Back to serve number 13, Caden Nepper, the senior from Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. No doubt about that one either. Rebecca Barnes pinballing it in between 2 Liberty players. That's Brady Quackenbush and Eugenio Ramsey getting the painful end of a Rebecca Barnes spike.
My goodness. I mean, it's like a pinball machine going between those 2 Liberty players.
The Knights bring it back equal. Can they break the monotony and take the lead for the first time since they had 9 points? Knights can't get it done there. We saw number 14, Joshua Knapp, on the receiving end of that one. Puts Liberty up 15-14 over top of the Southern Virginia Knights. And now we'll see number 8. This is Sean Taggart. Back to serve for the Liberty Flames. Liberty looking to take the lead, make it 2. So now, a little bit of change in the norm. The monotony is broken. Liberty now up 2 despite the Knights' best efforts to bring it back equal.
And again, just an awkward play from Mark Stapley there. Just mistimed, tried at the last second to simply get a cross the core over the net hit. Didn't quite work out.
Record Barn kills that one down off the hands of number 14, Joshua Knapp. So Knights bring it within one, and Daniel Aina back behind the line to serve for Southern Virginia. Daniel Aina so far not able to pick up a service ace, but he has 3 assists and 11 digs on tonight. Knights keep it alive. Eugenio Ramsey, despite his best efforts, couldn't get a hand on that one. It'll go down as a kill for Noel Recabarn. He now has 11 kills on this match. Serve by Ina goes into the net, so Liberty takes the lead despite the Knights' best efforts. They've brought it back equal, but now Liberty up 17-16, and Brady Quackenbush will be behind the line to serve for Liberty.
And like you mentioned, the Knights really struggling with serves this set. That brings them now to 11 service errors in this game as a whole.
Service too long by Quackenbush. That's what the Knights need at this moment. Bring it back equal. You're not in any big rush if you're the Knights, but again, this is the 3rd set. If you win this one, if you're Southern Virginia, you take home a W and move your win streak to 11. Really important set, because if Liberty even brings this close, if they pull away in this 3rd set and take it, they now have confidence going in their side, headed into the 4th. And if you're the Knights, you don't want to even let that happen. The chance of Liberty even coming back in this game, you want to eliminate that from the get-go. Smart play, Kaipo Tagaloa tipping it into the back left corner. That's what Coach Tom Peterson and Southern Virginia love to see. Too many hits on the side of Liberty Flames, so Southern Virginia, Dawson, they finally take the lead from seeing the first time in a really long time in this 3rd set, and now they have the opportunity to build on this lead and take this 3rd set and the W home.
And a lot of service receiving in volleyball is about absorbing power from the ball and getting up in the air softly. Liberty University not able to do that in a pinballed around, and then Noel comes back and just hits it way too hard that time.
You saw Noel Recabarn. A lot of people here in Night Arena thought that fell in. So referees saw it differently, but either way, it's tied up 19-all. They'll say that landed out of bounds. And Dawson, you could have made a case that came off the fingertips of Eugenio Ramsey of Liberty on that last play, couldn't you?
Definitely could, but at the same time, it's a very close call. It's a judgment call there, and if he did, it was very, very close.
And Southern Virginia bringing it back equal again. That time, Colby Wilson spiking it down for the kill. Colby Wilson now has 3 kills on the night. And he'll move back for service for Southern Virginia. Yet to pick up a service ace in this game. Or rather, he has 1 service ace in this game. That one too far left, out of bounds. Point Southern Virginia. SVU takes the lead, 21-20. Colby Wilson again. Night attack, Tagaloa. Kept alive by Liberty. Recabarn got a hand on it, but too much muster on the end of that ball. Now tied up 21-21. Dawson, the Knights have given a little bit of space to Liberty, and Liberty has capitalized, it seems like.
Well, been both teams having a lot of momentum shifts. I mean, in sports, you'll see teams going like a 20-point run or whatever the case may be. But in this game, momentum shifts every single serve.
The line judge on the far left side said that one fall in, but the head official on the ladder said it was out of bounds. And point will go to Liberty. It looks like Eugenio Ramsey now back to serve for Liberty. Again, another call that could have gone either way for Southern Virginia. That one will fall for Noel Recabar. No doubt about that one. Deep into the backcourt of the Flames. Now back to serve for the Knights. Number 8, Kaipo Tagaloa.
Yeah, I was right in the back near corner here. Again, Noah picking a perfect spot where nobody was at, where nobody was anticipating it going.
Tagaloa already with 2 service aces tonight. Killed down, I believe that was number 16, Zachary Martin, and that ball made its way all the way over here to us here in the booth.
Yeah, right into my lap, Chris.
Crucial point here for Southern Virginia. If they let this one go, Liberty has an opportunity at set point. Caden Nepper. Crucial attack for Southern Virginia. It'll fall to Liberty. Mark Stapley getting a hand on that one, but Liberty picking up a block. Again, number 16, Zachary Martin. And head coach Tom Peterson will take a timeout. Southern Virginia finds itself in an unusual spot for them. 24-22, set point in favor of Liberty. And Dawson, if Liberty pulls away and takes this third set, this would be the first time since Juniata that Southern Virginia has split sets with a team.
Yeah, and Coach Tom Peterson very frustrated with that. He felt like his team could have had a chance to pull away with the third set and to pull off the sweep. And things looking pretty grim right now. The Knights still can come back and take this third set and complete the sweep. But when you're down by 2 and the other team has a set point, it makes things very difficult for you. It makes it very little room for error.
Absolutely does. And Dawson, I believe the key to this timeout that Coach Tom Peterson has taken right now is to explain to his guys, hey, we're still in charge here. We're up 2-0. The momentum's been on our side the entire time. Don't let it seem like Liberty has the upper hand now in this game. You're so close to finishing it off. Just need to score a couple of more points, then you're right back in it. If you can pull it equal 24-24, it's a whole new game for the Southern Virginia squad and head coach Tom Peterson.
It definitely is, because as you fans might know, you have to win by 2. And so again, like you mentioned, if the Knights can pull it 24-24, it'll go into extra points regardless.
The Southern Virginia Knights will now have the tall task of keeping Liberty at bay for at least 2 more points. Again, down 24-22. Number 13, Caden Nepper, back serve. Crucial point for the Southern Virginia Knights. They don't want it to go to a 4th set. Too far over, and it'll fall for Liberty. So just like that, the Liberty Flames take the 3rd set of this matchup. And Southern Virginia split sets with the opposing squad for the first time since Juniata.
And again, Liberty just doing a lot of great things. They've hit the open spots. They had some great blocks, some great play from number 19, Eugenio Ramsey, as well as number 14, Joshua Knapp. There's some great play all around. Great play setups. They didn't lose the composure, knowing they were down 2 sets to 0 and pulling it within 1 game.
And Dawson, that could in the end be a killer for Southern Virginia. The momentum has clearly shifted to Liberty. But if you're a Southern Virginia player, like you mentioned earlier, you can't think that. You have to know and think that the momentum is still on your side. You're right back in this game. If you're head coach Tom Peterson, what are you telling your guys between this break between the 3rd and 4th set?
Well, I think just calm down. Like you just said, we're in control of this game. We're on our home court. We have our fans supporting us. We are the number 10 team in the nation. I mean, there's a reason for that. You have a 10-game win streak to prove that. Of course, they don't like to bring up the win streak just because they just look at every game as a new game, which they should. But again, you just got to understand what you are as a team, what you have done so far in this game already, winning 2 sets, and go back to that energy that you had early on.
And Dawson, on terms of Liberty side, we didn't see much of a change from that in earlier points. We really saw the change on the Knights side of things. The Knights hitting percentage dropping significantly within that 3rd set, with around 300, now right around 227. But with Liberty, their hit percentage stayed the same. They've been 137 basically the entire night. So not to say that the problem lies with the Knights so far, but it's their game to lose. They have this game in hand. They're up 2-1. They just need to finish and pull it out the end. And you're the number 10 team in the nation for a reason. It's because you've shown and you have the ability to be that finisher and to be that closer. Just need to make it evident now. You have all the tools at your disposal. Just go out and do it. Go out and play the game of volleyball that you know and love.
And the Knights also need to tighten up on their serves. They gave away, I believe it was 5 points in that set alone on service errors. And so basically, if you lock that up, it's a totally different ballgame. You win that third set and you complete the sweep. And so focus on your serves. Don't let them get lackadaisical. And just serve the way you usually do. Serve the way you do every day in practice. Don't let the fatigue get to you.
And Dawson, I think the points given away on service errors was more than that. You said 5. I believe the actual numbers, they gave away 8 points alone on service errors in that third set. Definitely not what you want to see if you're head coach Tom Peterson. But again, Dawson, you're the 10th ranked team in the nation. You've proven yourself time in and time out. You shouldn't have to worry coming into this third set. You know you're a better team than this. Go out and play your hardest and do what you know what you can do. It looks like this fourth set will start with Southern Virginia's Cougar Clark behind the line to serve for SVU.
And Cougar Clark's kind of been quiet for the past set and a half, so I feel like in order for SVU to pull back the momentum, he needs to start getting more involved in this fourth set.
And Dawson, to say that a player with 8 kills on tonight has been quiet, it's just a testament to the skill and talent of this team. Noah Ruckabarn has 13 kills, Mark Stapley 10, Cougar Clark with 8. So these outside hitters, they're finding their numbers, but it's just not at the amazing rate that we've seen them do throughout this season. Hit by Noel Ruckabarn, too far. First point of this fourth set is in the hands of Liberty. And now serving for them, this is number 13, Caden Nepper, the one who served in the third set to pull it out against the SVU Knights. Ruckabarn, smart play, using the left hand, catching the entire Liberty Flames core off guard.
The focus and balance in midair to maintain that on your non-dominant hand, no less, and have that perfect placement. Very impressive.
Back communication on the Knight side leads to attack by Liberty. Blocked down by Noel Ruckabarn and Colby Wilson, but it will be called out of bounds. Liberty now takes the 2-1 lead over top of SVU. And Brady Quackenbush will make his way to the bench. And number 2, James Wharton checks his way into the game. Back to serve number 8, Sean Taggart. Seen Taggart back to serve a number of times in this game. That one will fall for Sean Taggart. So Dawson, with that, Liberty picking up their third service ace of tonight, and the first one in what seems a really long time, the first one of this fourth set.
And I feel like that one was a big momentum builder for this Liberty Flames team. If that one set win wasn't enough, I mean, they all gathered together. You just could feel the energy building up for them.
It was blocked down by Colby Whitson and Ruckabarn. Just unfortunately, it was on the Knights side of the court. So Liberty now takes the 4-1 lead over top of Southern Virginia. And back to serve is number 8, Sean Taggart. Taggart, 2 service aces on tonight, has 2 of Liberty's 3 of this match. Liberty's number 2, that's James Morton pushing it down for Liberty.
I would expect if one more point goes to Liberty. I spoke too soon. I was going to say that Coach Peterson was going to call a timeout at some point, and he does. I mean, he needs to get his team back in order. I mean, things aren't working out for them right now. Liberty has too much momentum. They need to calm it down and get back to their momentum in their home court.
Dawson, it just seems right now for the Knights that they're not clicking at the same pace that they did early in this game. Maybe some fresh legs will help. Maybe finding another option, finding another play. We've seen great success by these Knights players, but maybe a change of scenery, a change of personnel can spark this team and to regain the momentum that they had in the first set and, to be honest, deep into the second and third set.
Right. And also, like you mentioned, fresh legs. It doesn't help that they've had 2 other games within the past 24 hours. and have 3 games in 24 hours like this, and now having to go up against a very competitive team like Liberty University, it presents a challenge in and of itself.
A challenge in and of itself, but nothing this Southern Virginia men's volleyball program won't face up to. They've taken it in stride. Dawson, you mentioned 3 games within 24 hours. You faced Karen earlier today, and you faced Newman last night. Now facing up against what you said, a very talented squad in Liberty. Noel Recca-Barn. Maybe you saw in that last play, Recca-Barn. He's stoic all the way through, but that was hit with conviction.
That is what you call response kill.
So Mark Staple will be back to serve for Southern Virginia. Great dig. Danielle Ina keeps Knight's attack alive. That one killed down. That's number 16, Zachary Martin, getting on the board. Zachary Martin now has 3 kills on the night, that one being his 3rd.
And if you look at the kills for Liberty right now, compared to SVU's numbers, not incredibly impressive, but they've been spreading it around. You have Eugenio Ramsey with 7, James Martin with 6, Sean Taggart with 6, Joshua Knapp with 5, Martin with 3, and then it goes down from the other 2 that have a couple of kills. And so they've been able to spread the ball around quite a bit and come at you from all sides.
And Southern Virginia has 41 kills on the night on 94 attacks. Meanwhile, Liberty has only 29 kills on 80 attacks. Both teams hitting under what they'd probably like to in terms of hitting percentage. Liberty at 175 and Southern Virginia at 223. Serve from Recca-Barn, playable by Liberty. Spike down, number 2, James Morton. Morton getting on the board for Liberty. The Flames now take a 7-3 lead over top of Southern Virginia, and number 10, Andrew Eves, the senior from Bentonville, Arkansas, back to serve for the Flames. Kill down again, number 2, James Morton. That's who Liberty's been targeting. They're targeting James Morton, the freshman from Chesterfield, Virginia. On the last 3 points alone, they've only looked for James Morton, and that brings Morton so he has 8 kills on tonight.
Well, the thing is, SVU is anticipating where his kills are going, and Liberty's playing these chess matches with them, and going in a totally different direction. As SVU is going one way, they're going the other, and it makes it hard for SVU to transition.
Southern Virginia gets a point on the board after the great kill by Cougar Clark. And now we see Colby Wilson, the senior from Saugus, California, formerly played at Saugus High School for the Knights. Same player, same play. James Morton being called upon again by head coach of the Liberty Flames. And it's worked so far, Dawson. You're playing the same play to James Morton on this close near side. Knights haven't been able to stop it so far this 4th set. And then we see number 8 of the Flames, that one being Sean Taggart, picking up a block on Kaipo Tagaloa. Everything going in Liberty's way so far. If you're Southern Virginia, what can you do to regain a little bit of momentum coming into this 4th set?
Well, you got to do what Kaipo Tagaloa just tried to do. He tried to switch things up. He tried to put in a different spot. It just didn't work out from that time.
Great dig. That's number 10, Andrew Eves for Liberty. Night attack underway. Quackenbush with the bump. Kill down number 19, Eugenio Ramsey now getting on the board.
And Liberty just clicking like a machine right now, and SVU finding very little answers for it.
And back to serve, James Morton. He's the one that Liberty have called upon here in this 4th set. That one by Mark Stapley, not to be denied. Stapley brings it 5-11.
Well, SVU just needs to keep getting plays like that. I mean, they have Mark Stapley and now Recca-Barn, these players who have great athletic ability, great hitting power. And it's been very far and few times between where we've seen them being involved in this 4th set.
Back to serve for Southern Virginia's number 8, Kaipo Tagaloa, the junior from Lincoln, Nebraska. That's blocked down. Mark Stapley and Mitch Yusevich. And Dawson, if you saw after that play, Mark Stapley staring down Liberty's number 2, James Morton, after blocking down his kill.
Just letting them know, hey, I'm still here. I'm going to go up for every single kill that you have in store for me, and I'm going to put it down.
Night attack underway. Set Tagaloa. Was hit into the net by Mark Stapley. Point goes bound for Liberty. Now Liberty up 12-6 over top of Southern Virginia.
Yeah, Liberty just can't seem to do anything wrong right now.
That one again, number 8, Sean Taggart getting on the board for Liberty.
And you know, I think the main thing is, you look at SVU, they're having these great plays, they have these great ideas coming into fruition for them. They just look tired. They look like they've played their 3rd game in 24 hours.
Hit by Rekha Barn, just shy inbounds, and now we see head coach Tom Peterson putting in a change. Number 32, Elijah Mowry, coming into this game. Elijah Mowry having 2 big games in the Knights' 2 previous games between Newman and Karen. The middle blocker sophomore from Marsing, Idaho. We'll see what he can do to spark the Knights' comeback, hopefully. Point goes to Southern Virginia. They'll say it came off the hands of number 8, Sean Taggart. So Southern Virginia gets a point on the board and bring it 6-15.
Well, it should be 7-14. They did correct it at first. They get the point to Liberty.
Cougar Clark back to serve. Tagaloa set. They'll call it a double hit on Kaipo Tagaloa. On that set, he was looking for Rekha Barn, and with great purpose to do so. Rekha Barn, 15 kills on the night. Like we mentioned, he's top 10 in the nation for kills per set. Find him when he's open. He'll get the job done. Now back to serve for Liberty, number 13, Caden Nepper, who's had a great couple of sets between this 3rd and 4th one combined. That one falls out of bounds, so Liberty take another point on these Knights. A strong hit by number 14, Joshua Knapp, led to the dig by Tagaloa that fell out of bounds. And now head coach Tom Peterson forced to take a timeout. Knights down 7-16.
And again, it's just, I feel like a lot of it's just due to fatigue. I feel like they've been doing a lot of great things, a lot of great plays. It's just they're tired. And so, like you've mentioned, they need some fresh legs. They need some fresh things in there. And I get some new ideas, new plays, new concepts to get in there. Because every player has their strengths. Every player has that play that they run to perfection. We've seen that with Bowers with the pin play. We've seen it with Noah Rekha Barn with a classic hit on the outside. Same thing with Cougar Clark. So you need new players in there, like Coach Pearson putting in 32, Elijah Mowry, with different skill sets, different things that they bring to the table to surprise this Liberty team.
And Dawson, a player that we saw earlier in this match, Taylor Bowers, hasn't made his way into the game today, but you mentioned the need for fresh legs and new ideas. These guys, they've played 3 games in 24 hours. They need a little bit of rest. You said they look fatigued. I agree with you on that aspect. You have all the skill set necessary to come back in this game. And you've seen your bench players. You've seen Cooper Anderson, Andrew Fanua, Elijah Mowry, Taylor Bowers, and the like prove themselves in their last couple of games just within the last couple of hours, like we saw this morning, or rather this afternoon at noon against Karen. You have these players with the ability to do so. It'd be interesting and really refreshing to probably some of these stars to take a little break, have them go in. Mark Stapley with authority.
That's exactly what they needed. They needed a fresh play like that. Mark Stapley providing that spark.
That one out of bounds on Liberty. Knights now 9-16. Knights in position to mount a comeback here in this 4th set.
They have a lot of work to do. Down by 7, you put yourself in a hole early. And so again, you just got to make sure that you run everything to perfection right now. And much like the end of the third set, not a lot of room for error like that play just now.
Joshua Knapp spiking that one down for the Flames of Liberty. Liberty now up 17-9 over top of Southern Virginia. And with that last kill, Joshua Knapp now has 7 kills on tonight. Joshua Knapp again getting his name on the scorecard, that time with a solo block over top of Colby Wilson.
It was a very soft tip, but it was able to sneak down past the net to the ground for the night score.
Dawson, I apologize. I thought it was a block on the side of Joshua Knapp, but instead a point for Colby Wilson and Southern Virginia. That one spiked down number 2 again, James Morton. They've looked for him this entire fourth set. Now he brings his total up. He has 10 kills on tonight. And Dawson, just looking at the numbers, the difference between the start of the third set, or rather the end of the third set and the beginning of this fourth, is night and day. James Morton came into this fourth and final set with 6 kills, and now he has 10.
He's been the spark for the Flames so far. And you know what? The Knights getting in dangerous territory. There's a statistic out that shows that majority of the time, the first team to reach 20 points in a set is the one that will win the set. And so Liberty, of course, approaching that number very fast right now.
Brady Quackenbush now looking to give Liberty that 10-point advantage. Still in it. Attack coming from the Knights. Set Tagaloa. Hit it right into the hands of Caden Nepper. Too strong by Cougar Clark.
Nepper barely able to get his hands up to cover his face at that, much less get it up in the air.
Play by Liberty. Night attack, set Tagaloa. Mark Stapley gets it to fall for SVU. SVU bring it 12-19.
You know, we don't see that extremely consistently from Mark Stapley, but he is capable of that. We see it every now and then, that power and that authority come out and slam it down for the kill.
Now back to serve for SVU, number 12, Noel Reckabaron. Noel, 15 kills on the night, 1 service ace. That one too far by Reckabaron. Liberty now they have 20 points here in this fourth set compared to the Knights 12. They're up by 8. They have the momentum. The Knights look like they were getting a little bit of it back. We'll see if they can have a great defensive stand here coming from the serve by number 10, Andrew Eves, and get back in this game and in this fourth set. Eves.
You know, I mentioned that statistic about the first team to reach 20 points in this set. As the Knights get a point right there, what the Knights can do here, if they're not able to manage to come back in this set, they can at least gain back some momentum near the end to carry into the 5th and final set.
Back to serve now for SVU, number 10, Colby Wilson. Spike down, number 2, James Morton. Dawson, we've mentioned it before and we'll mention it again. James Morton having himself a whale of a time in this fourth set. Came into this fourth set with only 6 kills. Now he's upwards towards 11.
I mean, again, Liberty has found the catalyst for their team. They have found what works against SVU, and it has been Morton, his great hits, his ability to get that cross-court hit.
That one blocked down by SVU. That's number 32, Elijah Mowry, getting his name on the board for the Knights.
Back serving for the Knights, number 8, Kaido Tagaloa.
And again, it's that fresh legs coming in there, making a play for this Knights team that desperately needs one.
21-14. SVU find themselves down in this fourth set. You saw Caden Nepper getting a little bit too fancy, even for his own good. Gives a point up to Southern Virginia Knights, and now it's a 6-point game.
He's starting to feel the energy and the momentum come back towards the Knights as the crowd getting a little bit more involved.
Oncoming attack. Tagaloa not able to get a hand on that one. Smart play by Sean Taggart of Liberty. Bring the Flames up 22-15 over top of the SVU Knights. And now back to serve number 19, Eugenio Ramsey. Dawson, you mentioned Ramsey as the catalyst for this team. It's been all James Borton in this fourth set. That'll fall for Cougar Clark. Put a point on the board for Southern Virginia.
Yeah, Liberty's not going to run away with a set if Cougar Clark has something to say about it.
See Cougar Clark now back to serve. Dawson Knights 6 points down, have the opportunity to mount the comeback if they gain the momentum that they had in that first set and even in the second set. Momentum always in the way, though, of Liberty, it seems like, in this fourth set. That one coming off the hands. That was number 16, Zachary Martin, getting that kill, the senior from Fayetteville.
And again, this set looking more and more like it's going to go towards Liberty. But again, the Knights need to find some way to get some momentum to carry them to the set if that is the case.
Served by Nepper too far. Keep the Knights away from the set point opportunity for Liberty. Knights find themselves down by 6. Now back to serve Daniel Aina of Southern Virginia. Strike down number 14, Joshua Knapp, getting a hand on that one. Dawson, if you listen to the coaching staff of Liberty, they were yelling Joshua Knapp's name before the play even started, just telegraphing what they're going to do. Knights need to find a way somehow to kind of tap into that and figure out what they're going to do. They scored most of their points on this close left side. Attack by Liberty. Great dig. Cougar Clark. Lack communication on the Knights' part. Knights giving up set number 4, and we'll go to a 5th and final set. Not what you expected to see from this Knights team, but here we are, Dawson.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, with that end of that second set and how much momentum Liberty was gaining, you kind of had a sense that it would come down to something like this. I was hoping for SVU to take control of that fourth set and take advantage and finish it off with a 3-1 win. But again, Liberty just having a lot of momentum, a lot of great work. We mentioned before, James Morton. And you mentioned that left side being so effective for the Flames so far.
All right, we'll take a quick break before this 5th and final set gets underway. We thank you so much for joining us on Knights Sports Network, and we'll bring you back as soon as the action gets back underway in the 5th set. We'll see you then. We welcome you back to the action here at the Barn in Buena Vista, Virginia, as this matchup between the 10th ranked Southern Virginia Knights and the Flames of Liberty University gets underway in a 5th and final set. Chris Fly alongside Dawson Wiedrich here to bring you today's action. Dawson, we saw 2 strong sets from the Knights. Looks like they were going to pull away in the 3rd set. But then Liberty coming up with a full head of steam to take 2 sets of their own and force the 5th and final set.
Yeah, the 4th set was just all Liberty University. It was just, they gave SVU all they could handle. But you're starting to see this crowd get really involved. And again, 5th set is first to 15. And so the Knights have little room for error against a team in Liberty that has had a lot of momentum in these past few sets.
Some deliberation here on the court. They'll allow libero Daniel Aina to come in for number 7, Mitch Yusevich of Southern Virginia. And the same familiar faces on the opposite side for Liberty. We saw James Morton have a whale of a time in that 4th set. Brought his total up to 11 kills, and Eugenio Ramsey himself picking up 10.
And again, we mentioned that James Morton had 5 kills in that 4th set alone.
You hear the Knights fans and Knights faithful trying to get behind their Southern Virginia Knights. They know how important this game is for them. Reckabarn came with everything he had, but he was met by number 14, Joshua Knapp, on that last play. Dawson, we compare the block numbers between teams. Liberty has 8 blocks tonight in solo blocks. One of them there is probably even more than that if you actually count them up. Southern Virginia attack underway. Tagaloa. That spike by Eugenio Ramsey finds its way into the net.
And you're seeing the attacks of SVU struggling a little bit to get off effective hits and effective kills through windows and the blocks that Liberty is presenting to them.
Back now to serve number 12, Noel Reckabarren. Leading both teams in kills right now. He has 15. Almost adding up a service ace there. Knights attack. Cougar Clark getting down the tip off the fingertips of number 16, Zachary Martin. What I believe is number 8, Sean Taggart, and it is.
And the 5th and final set, we mentioned first to 15. Every point is that much bigger, that much more important.
Now Noel Reckabarren. That one just shy, coming up the hands of number 14, Joshua Knapp. Falls out of bounds. Southern Virginia has the lead, 3-1. Dawson, it's the first lead Southern Virginia have had since the 3rd set.
And of course, you're going to see the head coach for Liberty take a timeout here to discuss things over, because in the past 2 sets, he's seen his team play much better than they have started off in this 5th and final set. But of course, much to the relief of SVU, Liberty has been an onslaught, but to see Liberty struggling right now is definitely getting them some momentum and much needed energy.
And Dawson, must needed energy for Southern Virginia. We mentioned it before on today's broadcast. This is the 3rd straight game Southern Virginia has had to play within 24 hours. Had Newman last night, went again at noon today against Karen. Then to face off against Liberty in this match, it has to be draining. But no matter what happens in the end of it, your head coach, Tom Peterson, you're coming out of this great weekend of volleyball with more information about your team than you left with. We saw a lot of players that didn't necessarily start for the Knights throughout the season get a lot of playing time against Newman, a lot of playing time this afternoon against Karen. So if you're Coach Tom Peterson, you know a little bit more about your team. You've met them a little bit more. You know what makes them tick. So heading into this season and forward, and hopefully into the NCAA tournament, you're a stronger team because of playing these 3 straight games within 24 hours.
You're absolutely correct. And games like this where you're exhausted and you have to fight through it is what champions are made of. And so proving that right now will be a huge testament to this team.
Barron. Second straight spike attempt by Joshua Knapp, the freshman from Gaithersburg, Maryland, makes his way into the net. And you have to think now, Dawson, Knights now take a 4-1 lead. Has momentum officially shifted?
I feel like hasn't quite it's almost there. It's on the cusp of shifting completely to SVU. It's just right there. I feel like if we have one more point, the momentum will completely shifted to the Knights.
Attack. That one goes off the hands of Whitson and Tagalolo, so Liberty able to bring it up. It's now a 2-point game, and they've always looked for number 14, Joshua Knapp, on the last couple of points in Dawson. It seems like Liberty has always, they have their favorite spot on the court. It's this top side, near left corner. They've played it almost every single time, whether it be James Morton, Eugenio Ramsey, or what we've seen lately, Joshua Knapp.
And you know, the reason I hesitated to say that SVU had all the momentum is just because how well Liberty has responded in certain times in this game, in all these different sets. They've been down by 5, they responded real quickly and tied it up. They've been down by 6, they responded real quickly and tied it up. And so with a game like this and against a team like Liberty, anything is possible.
Knights now find themselves up by 3 after a net violation by James Morton. And James Morton now hitting that one too far for Liberty. Knights now take a 6-2 lead in this 5th and final set. Again, in this 5th set, it's 1st to 15. Knights almost halfway there. That one spiked down. That one, Joshua Knapp. We mentioned they like to play on this left corner. Joshua Knapp showing his prowess there on the far side of the court with that big left hand. Now we'll see Brady Quackenbush back to serve for Liberty. Great dig, believe that is Caden Nepper, and it is. Blocked down, Mitch Yusevich and Cougar Clark sending it right back in Liberty's face off the great hit by number 14, Joshua Knapp.
I think the Knights are finally starting to establish a little bit of control of this set. Again, this set right now is theirs to lose. 1st to 15, they're 8 points away, up by 4.
And Dawson, you have to think, when will Liberty take a timeout to try to maybe cool down the hot streak Southern Virginia's been on in the last couple of points? That's a great hit by number 19, Eugenio Ramsey. It looks like the attack had broken down for Liberty, but Ramsey getting in a position where no Knights were in the position to get to that ball. Still a 3-point game. Now back to serve, number 10, Andrew Eves. Blocked by Morton, attack by Liberty underway. Morton again. Blocked out of bounds. Cougar Clark getting a hand on that one, but it finds its way out of bounds. Liberty now bring it. It's a 2-point game, Dawson. Liberty had the momentum in the 3rd and 4th set. You can't let them get ahead or even bring it equal if you're Southern Virginia at this point, can you?
Oh, you absolutely cannot. I mean, that definitely helps the Knights' case. But with a team like Liberty, their main strength has been response. Responding to adversity, responding to pressure. And so SVU needs to show that same attribute in this 5th and final set.
Now both squads switch sides. Southern Virginia looking off to finish off the Flames of Liberty, and they have the fans behind them. The barn here is so loud, Dawson, we can hardly hear each other talk. You think they can take this energy and ride it all the way to the end?
Well, absolutely. It's home court advantage. It's what you always hope for at any level of play. Hope to have the fans behind you, have it deafening like it has been several times in this game.
Dawson, I think it's ironic and funny how when the Knights are playing or the other team is serving, the fans here at SVU they could drown out an Army. But when Cougar Clark or one of these Knights players is back to serve, you can hear a pin drop here in Knight Arena. With the exception of the couple Liberty fans on the opposite side of the barn. Knight attack underway. Great dig, Tagalolo, Knights maybe. Daniel Aina got his hand to it, but not in a position to get that one over. Liberty brings it 2-point game again, 8-6. Southern Virginia still up.
And it's great effort by Daniel Aina overall. And then Mitch Yusevich to even get up in the air in the first place.
That one goes in the Knights' favor. Service error by Liberty. Dawson, that's the first service error for the Liberty Flames that we've seen in a very long time. Served by Aina, too long. So Liberty now brings it 7-9. Night attack underway. Tagaloa. Cougar Clark getting that one to fall for SVU. Knights now 5 points away from bringing home their 11th straight win. And the person looking to carry them through, Mark Stapley. Night attack. Tagaloa. Down to Wilson. Knights bring it. Dawson, am I mistaken, or did Liberty able to save that and keep it in play?
That was an incredibly impressive save, just when Liberty needs it most.
No mistaking that one, Dawson. Noel Rekabaran putting it down for SVU. Rekabaran now 15 kills on the night. And back to serve Mark Stapley. Liberty get that one to fall. Daniel Aina doing everything he could to try to get to that one. It's a 2-point game, or rather a 3-point game. Southern Virginia up 11-8. Tagaloa. That'd be a double hit called on the Liberty Flames. Now Southern Virginia up 12-8. 4-point game here in Knight Arena. And the fans here at Southern Virginia University letting the Liberty Flames know what they did wrong. Served by Rekabaran into net. Still a 3-point game. Service into net. Southern Virginia have an opportunity at match point. It's 13-9. They get the next point on their side. They'll have an opportunity to bring it home. Back to serve now, number 10, Colby Wilson. Tagaloa down with authority. It's match point, Southern Virginia. I think rather they'll call that out of bounds by Tagaloa, so it'll stay 13-10, much to the disbelief of everyone here in Knight Arena. Brady Quackenbush. Cougar Clark now making it match point. 14-10, Southern Virginia up. Fans here in Knight Arena are on their feet. Back to serve, Kaipo Tagaloa. Tagaloa already has 2 service aces tonight. Can he finish off the Liberty Flames from beyond the eye? Deep up into the ceiling. Falls out of bounds. Southern Virginia takes it home. Their 11th straight win. They pull it off against Liberty in amazing fashion in the 5th and final set.
Thank you for attending tonight's volleyball match between Southern Virginia Knights and the Liberty Flames. Go Knights.
It was a nail-biter all the way up until the very end. Southern Virginia taking the first 2 sets with ease and then dropping the 3rd and 4th to the Liberty Flames after Liberty came back with amazing passion in those sets. But Knights able to pull it off in the end. And no matter what the outcome was of this game, you have to give it up for the Liberty Flames to be able to come in. They're down 2 sets and have the heart and willpower to fight and keep fighting and bring it so close to the Knights. You have to give them their due diligence, and we'll give it to them here on the Knights Sports Network, but also giving the due diligence to head coach Tom Peterson and the Southern Virginia Knights, making it 11 wins in a row. Their first time they split sets since Friday, February 15th with Juniata, and they pull this one away from the Liberty Flames. Knights showed great heart in the end of it to keep it up and pull it out in the very end. As you turn your attention to center court, both teams respectively of the Liberty Flames and the Southern Virginia Knights getting together in great sportsmanship, having a prayer to end this one and to send Liberty Flames home safely and with the pride they have to stay in this game. But again, Southern Virginia wins 3-2, and a nail-biter came into the very end. Some great plays from their seniors. That'll do it for us here at the Knights Sports Network. Thank you so much for joining us on this great day for volleyball. It's a long day for this men's volleyball team, able to pull it out. 2 wins through the day, once over Karen, and now